Hi and welcome. Thank you for joining me. I'm Sandy of Lolly and Sand, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Ontario, Canada. Happy Tuesday, everybody. So, I'm going to do a card where I give you permission to be messy. It doesn't have to be perfect. Seriously, does not have to be perfect. We're going to play with the blending brushes. Oh, move it over. Blending brush. We're just using one today. Nature's Prints. Here it is here. I know I've showed it previously, and I just love it. So what I'm going to do today is do some heat embossing with these, and I believe we're using this sentiment. Can never have enough birthday cards, you know. And I say we take it from there. This is just one of my favorite sets, and I think I've featured it maybe twice already. So I'm going to show you more versatility, and again, give you permission to be as messy as you want to be. Maybe you want to be super messy today. Let's find out. I do want to mention also that I'm using these dies, but my fingers keep getting stuck to it. It's like, oops. These are from the new annual catalog from Stampin' Up. Everything I use is from Stampin' Up. And this is the one that if you can't purchase any other dies, get these. You've got your circles in various sizes. You have your squares, 4 different banners, which is fantastic for sentiments, or even just as call it like a center banner. You can do it in pattern paper, so as the designer series paper, or use your imagination. But I have used this largest one today for the sentiment, so I've done a little bit of the work ahead of time. All right, get my fingers unstuck again. I'm not even embarrassed to say my fingers got stuck. All right, a couple things you're going to want with this. Number one, well, you're going to want backing paper because you're going off the sides of the paper. This is just copy paper, so nothing spectacular. I have a piece of just basic white, and I think I cut it a little bit bigger than I need, which is fine. Cut it down afterward. I also have a sticky note, which I've been, clearly you can see I've been using, and it's just to try and keep my fingers from getting totally colored. They will. So here's our colors today. Both are beautiful. I love the Poppy Parade. It's a red, but it's in the orangey side of red, so it's a very happy color if you want to look at it that way. And then Real Red has a richness to it, so the two of these combined are going to make an interesting background. So I'm going to start with the lighter of the two, and again, I give you permission to be messy. Boy, I can't stress that enough, can I? Alrighty. You know how whenever we demonstrators show you how to use our blending brushes, we start off the page, come onto the page in nice little circles. Okay, so what I'm saying is not today. Not today, my friends. And this is really cool. Check this out. I think you can see this. See that cool pattern? Yours will, like, it depends on, like, I've been pretty heavy duty with mine. It makes these really cool kind of patterns on your card, adding additional depth. So you might be thinking, what on earth are you doing? It'll all make sense soon. So let's keep going. I will be turning the paper, and just to note, this paper is going to be pretty wet when I'm done. So I have another one waiting in the wings because we don't have the time to wait for it to dry. I did try using my heat tool, but it still wasn't as quick as I would have liked, so I have another one ready to go. Pardon me. I've been talking too much, and it's super duper, I'm just super duper, have a dry throat today. So pardon me, please. I will go over this a few times. Now, all I'm doing with this, I think you can see that. You can mush it in, you can go like this. You can see I'm moving the ink around. You can see how it got very light here. By the time I'm done this, I'll probably need a re-inking. Now, some of the time I am going to start off the page, depending on how dark an area gets, and other times I won't. Those circles just turned into lines, so again, it really doesn't matter. I don't want this to be even and perfect. It is definitely not the plan. So we'll just keep going kind of random here and there. It's one of those processes where you think you're done and you're like, nah, I'm not done. I'm going to keep going. And if you're wondering, how am I going to take this red and put it into that red? This red's darker, so it should be just fine. I'm going to try and take off as much as I can. Do you not just love this color? I hope it's as vibrant for you as it looks to me here in person. See, and you see again why we need that backing paper. Look at, I made such a huge mess of my ink pad. I will have to wash that. Oh, the little robot vacuum cleaner is right above me upstairs. So if you hear any weird kind of buzzing, that's it probably getting stuck under the cupboards, or I don't know what, it just does. All right, let's say we leave it at that for now. I am going to close this though, so I don't double dip. Alrighty, back in. So now we're using real red. Oh, I want an odd number. I always want an odd number. Now the ones I did earlier of these little taps, they're somewhat hiding, and that's fine. It's kind of like, let me think. If you've ever seen or done any mixed media art, you're just adding texture and layers basically. So we're layering on a second color and you're thinking, why are you covering up that beautiful poppy parade? You'll know very soon. Everything's a big secret today, isn't it? All right, we'll turn it that way and we'll keep going. Let's see if I can get a whole bunch of ink on here. I think we have lots, so maybe I will start off the page. There we go. I have used these so much. I have to tell you a little story while I'm doing this. So the first time I did this and I went to heat emboss, I didn't let the paper dry. This is how I know you have to let your paper dry. The embossing powder got stuck to the card, and not just where I wanted it, it was everywhere. And it's not what I wanted. So I had to, unfortunately, start over. Did the second one, did the exact same thing twice. You might be wondering, how on earth, Sandy, could you do that twice? Well, because I did. Third one I made, the base of the card was the wrong size. And I could not cut it down. It just needed a smidge taken off, enough that so it would actually fit in the envelope. And guess what? I ripped that thing apart. I ripped it and ended up having to pop it up. I'll show you that card. It's not my favorite, but I'm going to show you just to say what happens when you do things wrong. You might as well see I make mistakes too. I make lots of mistakes. I have a recycling bin beside me that is, it will not tell secrets. All right, I'm pretty happy with this. This is looking good. So I'm going to stop there and very carefully without getting everything soaked. It's wet ink. It's not crazy, but it's wet. And then we'll bring in this one. I don't know if you can see this. Now that it's dried, you can kind of see dark bits here and there, and that's where I did the tapping. I'm not going to do tapping right now because it won't be good for it. What we're going to do though is we're going to heat emboss. So I'm going to put a couple things off to the side. Bring in my, oh, is that the right one? That is not the right one. No. Oh, it's in here. This is my white embossing powder. There's, I forget, 2 or 3 of these containers, maybe more, in here. All right, I have that. I have my Embossing Buddy. Now, this is now available through Stampin Up. And it's not called Embossing Buddy. You get the tray and a brush. The tray, the brush, an Embossing Buddy, and tweezers to hold your paper so you don't get burned. All right, so up, down. I don't think up, down really matters. So I am going to make sure that I've got my Embossing Buddy going. What it does is it should stop the static, which holds the embossing powder onto the page when you don't want it to, and it will also take care of our, we have oil in our skin, take care of our fingerprints. I just realized I don't have my rings on. Okay, so this is the fern. Oh, and the other thing I did was I stamped it upside down on the card. Ugh. I was just having so much fun. All right, so I'm going to stamp that off just a tiny little bit, not too much. We have one there. You may not be able to see it. Right now I can see it, so I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to do the other one down this direction. So that's 2. I'm just going to stamp 3. I'm just kind of trying to look at it to make sure I got it. All right, this is another one of the images. Now, I don't want this long stem, so I'm going to hopefully not get it. You know what I'll do? I have a cloth right here. In case I got that part, I'm just going to clear it. All right, and that one will go, I guess considering the angle of that, I'm going to end up going right about here. Now my beautiful, pristine Versamark, which is what I just inked with, is starting to get this color on it because I kept stamping and made a bit of a mess. All right, so I'm going to pick this up carefully. I don't know if you can, I think you can see that. You can see it's shiny. All right, some kind of little coffee spoon here, I think. And a container from the dollar store. That looks good. Now I do see a couple flecks in the corner here, so I'll just get rid of those. It's funny, did I not say I did not ink that in yet? I still have the end. How did that happen? Alrighty. Now it's time to heat emboss. So that was the white emboss. Wait. You know what? I missed a couple of the ends. We're not quite done. I was trying to stifle a sneeze there. I didn't get that end. And I didn't get this one. There we go, that's better. Sometimes it's good to take another look. I think this will be okay because I've got the banner. So I'm going to leave that. I will close that later. Just far enough away that my heat tool doesn't affect it. So at this point, I'm just going to, now I will bring out my heat tool. And I'm keeping it pretty close to the paper, probably 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. And as soon as it starts turning white and shiny, I know that area is done. Right down to the end. If you notice my paper's warping a bit, this poor paper's been through a lot. It's been wet with ink, and now it's being heat embossed. It'll be fine. No worries. Aha! Interesting. Okay, there's an interesting turn. I haven't had that happen. So this leaf here started bleeding through. Or did that come from my ink pad? I'm not sure, but I'm seeing some of the red there. I don't think, but I'll try. Get my handy dandy little blue cloth here. So this is dry. Let's just see. Nope, it's not going to clean up, so I'm not going to do anything with it. It's just some more red for the card. So that's, let's see. So we've done step 1, step 2. Here comes step 3. I will be bringing out my heat tool again for this. This is a normal spritzer. Just a little water bottle. And you see I've got water on my fingers, but I really just want it down at my fingertips. And I really did do what you just heard. Went over to my paper recycle and flicked some of the water off. So now we're just going to flick, 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 flick. This is my favorite part because every time you do this, it's going to look different. Alrighty, flip that around. If you don't have any kind of spritzer, use a bowl of water, really, or yeah, a cup, bowl of water, whatever. All right, you see what it's doing there? Especially, there's a good one right there. You can see it just kind of lifts and moves the ink out of the way. I like it. I just want a couple of kind of larger, not crazy large. Don't want to have to do any fixing. And like I said, I'm big at just flicking. I don't use a paintbrush. I can't feel it. I use my fingers because I can feel what my fingers are doing. Paintbrush can't feel. Alrighty, did we get any larger ones? Nope. I like doing it this way because I'm getting kind of lines of water. This is going to show up, of course, a lot more for me. Now, what I'm wondering is, all the lights are on, yes. You can see how light it is here, and it kind of graduates. So this is, and I can see a dark area in here where the real red is. So the Poppy Parade, all of them are going to turn out differently. I'm still not happy. Nope. There we go. That should be a good one right there, hopefully. My finger touched the paper, so I'm not sure. You know, you just keep doing it till you're ready. Don't overdo it, though. And I'm getting close to overdoing it, so I'm going to stop now. And I am going to dry it because I want to adhere to the card today. Today. I think I'm going to pick this up. Yep, by the corner. And you know what? I'll do the back. This time I'm quite a bit, like probably about 4 inches away from the paper. All right, hopefully that's dry enough. Isn't that cool? Like, I just think, if you think that looks vibrant on the camera, it is super vibrant here as well. So just checking for ink, because I really don't want to have excess ink on myself. Now I've been using my silicone mat for my paper quilling. I was gonna say, do I have any of that handy? I do not, sorry. So there's a lot of glue on this side, because instead of using tiny bits, I use a lot more glue. All right, so let's make sure this is the right measurement first. So I have the inside of the card. Hopefully we don't transfer any color. They are the same size. So what we're looking at here, this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, as is the front of the card. So this is for the inside of the card. And, excuse my arms, this is the base of the card. It's just the regular, not thick whisper or basic white. 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. The reason I'm doing this is just in case I get messy. I'm feeling messy for some reason, I don't know. You know how I always just do the outside? This card's gonna need a little bit more because it's got some warping. So I'm gonna use a little bit more, still leaving a place for my fingers in the center of the card. Okay? Like I said, this card's had a lot done to it, or this paper has had a lot done to it. Right, so my card opens this way. Grab right here. This is a nice thin border. Get this side, and this side pretty much the same. And then let it drop down. Now in this case, because that's red ink, and I really don't care to get it on myself, okay, my hand is dry enough. I'm making sure my hand is dry enough. You know what I'm going to do? I have another piece of paper. I was just playing, and I'm going to do it this way, just to make sure. I just want to protect this from getting any ink, especially from me, on it. We're getting there. I'm going to do the, no, let's finish the front. Okay, so here's the sentiment, best wishes and happy thoughts. So I did this, you might be thinking, why? I did this in Poppy Parade. It's kind of almost monochromatic, but not. So there it is, and that's heat embossed in white. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? But we'll do it now. Have to bring out my really gross, disgusting piece of paper. I think that was enough gross and disgustings, wasn't it? Okay, and this is an inside strip, so we're going to keep that too. And we're going to bring out Winkostella. So what have we done? We've used our blending brushes, we've used heat embossing, water, and now Winkostella. And this one, I have a full one, brand new, but it made blobs on my card, and I don't want that. So instead, there's this little, where is it? Right here. It says push. So this is the ballast. Give it a little push. This is not going to have much in it, you can see here, but there's enough to tap perhaps. I do see it going onto the card. I know for you, it's just an annoying tap. I wanted to do this before I put the sentiment on because, yep, you got it. My full Winkostella made a big blob right on the B of best in Best Wishes. And I couldn't reuse it. I couldn't get it. I couldn't make it pretty. And I like my Winkostella really, really, really soft. So I didn't want blobs. And I don't know if you can see the sparkle or not, but it is sparkling. That's kind of a weird way to pronounce it. All right. So what I'm going to do here, this is the, let's just read it, glittered organdy ribbon. And I could have tucked it under the card, but why not just go loosey-goosey? So I'm going to go here, grab my scissors, go here, roughly, and we'll just give that a trim right there. So don't be afraid of ribbon. You don't have to use a lot. Now, before I put that down, I just want to say this is going on top, so you know underneath on this ribbon, I can adhere it pretty well. Pretty well. And I'm going to use Stampin' Seal. If I use liquid glue, it's wet, and that's just time that I don't want to wait. See how glittery that is? It's so pretty. So, so pretty. The other thing with this is you don't get the ribbon completely even. It's a simple adjustment because it's not attached. Alrighty, let's get rid of this ugly piece of paper. I seriously call that my ugly piece, the ugliest piece of paper I own. I am looking for my dimensionals. Now here's the thing with dimensionals. They don't stick to ribbon very well. They'll stick, but they won't hold it down to the paper. And I want it to hold the paper down. So I'm going to do a little cutting. I'll just pick them up first. I'm just going to cut them in half. You're wondering, why are you not using minis? I don't know. These were handy. These were handy. So I'm using them. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. And so I'm cutting them in half so I avoid that center strip as much as possible. And cut that one in half as well. How easy was that? Very. I don't get concerned that they're not a little even. That honestly does not matter at all. Oh, there's my take your pick tool. Pardon my arm. Alrighty. You can use your fingernails or use your take your pick tool. My fingernails couldn't do it that quickly. Basically just stab and pull away, and that takes care of them. Alrighty, so if you ever go to attach something, I did a shaker card once and it leaked, and that's because I forgot to take the one of the tabs off in it. Kind of an important spot. Again, I'm not afraid to tell you of my shortcomings. I think this isn't bothering me, the end here. So I'm gonna let that stick out just a little bit. Place that down. And I think we'll do the inside of the card, then we'll come back to the front of the card. So stay there. Now stay to the end, please, because I have 2 more cards to show you. I do. Done in a similar fashion. So here's, when I made this, actually I think it's from a previous one of my other samples that I totally wrecked, but I found a piece I could use. So this is, I don't even know how wide it is. Half an inch maybe? Let's just double check. Yep, half an inch. So it's half an inch by 5 3/8, and I'm going to place it along the edge here. I just thought that gave the inside of the card a bit of the drama that's on the front of the card. Good drama, not bad drama. Little line, and there we go, dot dot. And if you noticed, I didn't put it, I don't want it right at the edge when I was just showing it that. So let's go. That looks good. Looks very good. See what that does? You open up that card and it'll be like, wow. And that's what you really want. Cards don't have to be difficult. Like you notice there's one die cut on here, and heat embossing, if you're not heat embossing, I've done lots of videos with heat embossing, as have other demonstrators. It is not difficult, and it gives you the wow factor. You can make a super plain card, do a little bit of heat embossing, and Bob's your uncle. There we go. That's the inside. Just making sure everything's nice and even. And the front, again, not done because I need more bling. This is not enough bling. So I brought out some other pieces. You know, I really did. I know you're like, really, with the basic rhinestones again? Yes. You know why? Because they pretty well go with almost everything. So what I'm going to do is just kind of place them, kind of making a little bit of a waterfall. Kind of. We have to use our imaginations with this. Okay, put that there. Oop. Or I could put it on my finger. Okay, we'll put that one there. And there. And I'm going to use a big guy because there's big drops too. Oopsie. Sometimes they take off on you. And you just get them. I don't want them the same distance apart. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can put one more on, or I can leave it. I could leave it, but I choose not to. I'm just going to put another one right here. Sometimes I like two together-ish. Here we go. That, my friends, is my card. So let's I'll bring in one of the semi-failures. Not completely. So it's essentially the same card. You can tell that it's a lot lighter. And I thought it would be really cool to use clear embossing. But you know what? I took photos of this card and you can't see it. So I hope you can see it. Let me know in the comments if you can see it. This is the card that I put on the wrong sized base. So if you look here, it's actually popped up. Totally popped up. I didn't cut that end. I'm not going to cut that right now. But you see the difference? I have bigger blobs of water. I could still do that. What I would do is cover up the sentiment because I don't want water on this, and then keep going. So I might, or I might not. I don't know. Here comes the other one. Wow. So again, if you think this is bright, you're right. It is really bright. So this is done in one of the new ink colors called Starry Sky. And I only used one color. I didn't use two. So the light you see is from the water. This is actually from the DSP, from the Nature's Prints, and I forget the name of it. There's the back, very dark. And it's funny that I tried it with the actual color, Starry Sky, and it just didn't, it was the wrong level of darkness. So I switched to the DSP. And like I said, I always do two in case I mess one up. I always do two. So in the comments, would you tell me, please, maybe we'll leave this one out of the fray. Preference? Do you like the Starry Sky or do you like the Poppy Parade and Real Red? That's what I have for you. Now everything I've used today is available in my online store. Unfortunately, only Canadians can shop from me. Stampin' Up! Doesn't have cross-border or across the world shopping. We shop in our own countries, basically. So I'll have the links. All the important links will be, well, they're in the description already. And again, thank you for watching. Thumbs up, always a good thing. Comments. Subscribe if you haven't already, and click the bell so you know when my videos have gone live. And guess what, my friends? That's what we have. I will see you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.